Do you like Kung Fu Panda? Do you like deep dives into obscure lost media that literally no one cares about? Well, I think you might just be in the right place. Look at all this obscure behind the scenes footage. There's so much. What is that? And that? And why does it look so unfinished? And was that a panda fighting a Happy Meal? And what the actual hell is going on here? To answer that, we need to start at the beginning, way back before computers, or electricity, or even phones. About 1 million years ago, in the year 2003, a few incredible people got together and said, hey, what if animated movies were actually cool?
Is my face really red?
Yes.
That's what happens when you really feel it.
5 years later, Kung Fu Panda was born, bequeathed unto the earth to snare innocent children like me into its thrall, its black hole of endless regret. But I'm not here to talk about Kung Fu Panda. Oh no, I'm here to talk about its bigger, badder, awesomer, more touchinger. Who the hell wrote this script? The Big Brother sequel, Kung Fu Panda 2, the second part. Hello, Mike Mitchell. No, just kidding. It's actually just called Kung Fu Panda 2. The Kaboom of Doom. Yes, it was actually going to be called that. And this, Tai Lungs and Tigresses, is exactly what this video is about. The weird as hell, obscure, random, and completely useless world of lost Kung Fu Panda 2 content. So without further ado, I'm Shoot Arts, and let's get into it. Okay, I lied. There is one more ado. To fully understand the gravity of what I'm about to show you, we need a smidgen of history, and maybe a morsel of obscure trivia as a treat.
That you learn to appreciate life.
Kung Fu Panda released in June 2008 to widespread acclaim. Critics praised its elegant animation and energetic action sequences. Despite targeting a younger audience, the longer runtime and mostly subtle humor respects adults as well. It's okay to be a Kung Fu Panda fan as an adult. It's not weird at all. In all seriousness, f*** the haters. Kung Fu Panda is awesome. The internet certainly agrees.
Uh-oh.
Kung Fu Panda was a hit, especially in China, and it launched a multi-billion-dollar franchise. Look at all this random crap! As a kid, I don't remember Kung Fu Panda stuff showing up that much in stores. Just that one Sword of Heroes toy. You know, the one that shows up twice in the movie and is never actually used. Marketing. I want this little Kung Fu Panda 2 cannon so bad though. Look at this derpy wolf. He's almost as derpy. Look at this derpy wolf. Almost as derpy as he appears in the movie. Alright, forget the merch. Wait, what actually happens in Kung Fu Panda? There are 3 movies and 4 short films? Oh no, I forgot! Time to recap. Okay, with those downloaded into our collective brain cell, let's just remember these key characters. We have Po, the Kung Fu Panda. Everyone knows him. He lived in a noodle shop, never seeking glory or fame, then climbed the mountaintop and earned the Dragon Warrior name. Shifu, the Furious Five's Kung Fu teacher. Didn't believe in Po at first, but then realized he was actually really good at eating. Master Shifu saw the warrior blossom and
master the skills of bodacious and awesome Kung Fu Panda.
the Furious and Funf. These guys are basically premier celebrities in the Kung Fu Panda universe and super popular with fans. They have some amazing feats, but mostly just get their asses kicked. Zing! Mr. Ping, Duck Dad. Tai Lung, the gifted kid who was pushed too hard by his adoptive dad. Lord Shen, cold-blooded killer, also with daddy issues. Relatable. Kai, Cave Johnson, but an ox, and mad at Oogway. Oogway. Monkey. The soothsayer, Goat Grandma. She's a fortune teller, and she's important to Shen because she's the only one brave enough to tell him he's crazy. Look, there are plenty of more characters in official canon, and even more if you're a masochist. Look at this spider. That shit was cursed. But for our purposes, this is fine for now. Alright, enough of doing. You came here for obscure media, and by golly, I'm gonna give you it. Let's kick things off with maybe the most valuable resource on our docket. The Animators Corner. While not technically lost media, it is pretty obscure. Released on the Blu-ray of Kung Fu Panda 1 and 2, the Animators Corner provides an hour and a half of behind-the-scenes interviews. It's like tests, pre-production footage. In this thing, we can observe the creative process behind the movie. Kung Fu Panda 3 doesn't have an Animators Corner, though. It doesn't even have a director's commentary. Those bastards. DreamWorks. Sigh. Well, whatever. We'll work with what we've got. Now, I hear you ask. I hear your naysaying words. How can these special features possibly be obscure if they were released on almost every Blu-ray copy of the movies? This is how you access them.
the directors on Kung Fu Panda.
Now, okay, I fancy myself pretty technologically literate, but I had no idea my PS3 could do that. Older Blu-ray players of the time don't even support this picture-in-picture thing. Even worse, if you rip the Blu-ray, it doesn't spit this out like the other special features. No, instead, you have to play the movie file and then enable it in the menu. Okay, I might be dumb, but I had no idea this even existed. Alright, I'm not going to go too deeply into the Animators Corner here, but I will be using it throughout the video as background footage while I explain some of the more juicy bits. If you see this border around the footage, then it's from the Animators Corner. But it looks like the people who worked on the movies are allowed to use some of the shots they worked on in their portfolios. Normally they call these like reels, animator reels or something. So yeah, I'll put that in the corner right here. Then you'll know who's responsible for the clip you're watching. Oh shit, I just realized I said without further ado like twice already. Okay, last thing to know is I'm a bit of a Lord Shen fan. Okay, alright, maybe more than a bit. So there's some character analysis in here. By examining cut content, we can expand the source material, add context to characters' actions, and gain greater insight into these talented artists' processes. All characters have to be developed, unless you're, I don't know, Jesus. Sometimes this means creating tests in order to dial in their personality and traits. There's only 2 that I could find for Kung Fu Panda 2, but they do give a kind of unique look into these characters. Why don't we take a look?
I foretold that someone would stand in his way. A panda. I knew he would be disappointed, but I never could have foretold what came next.
This scene shows the soothsayer speaking with Poe. It's more of a previs, which is like pre-visualization, you know, before it's actually complete. It's got unfinished models and simple lighting. Some of the dialogue here is used in the movie, except for this part in the middle.
I knew he would be disappointed.
Goat Grandma says she knew Shen would be disappointed by the prophecy. You know, the one which said he'd get defeated by some anomalous threat. Yeah, I'd be disappointed too if I heard that. Well, too bad for Soothie. Shen fat out and he killed a bunch of people, kind of making it reasonable to want to see him taken down, right? Those self-fulfilling prophecies, man. Well, what about Shen? He has a personality test of his own, luck would have it. Maybe it sheds some more light on why he attacked the pandas?
I take no pleasure in taking a life if it's from a person who doesn't care about it.
Yikes. Well, first things first, let's address a fascinating visual anomaly. Lord Shen is at the Jade Palace, which is just hilarious to behold. Imagine he shows up in Kung Fu Panda 1. Good afternoon, gentlemen. He has no legs, which is cursed. And he basically says, I only like killing people if they appreciate being alive. Well, let's just say I hope this was a test and not like the final version of his character. Lord Shen having some goodness in him makes him much more interesting to me. Okay, I'm recording this after I wrote the script, but I just found out that that line is actually from a movie called The Professional. I had no idea. So apparently DreamWorks, to develop Lord Shen's character, they would take some Gary Oldman clips and kind of mash them all together and animate with those to kind of get a feel for him.
I take no pleasure in taking a life if it's from a person who doesn't care about it.
Well, yeah. Remember, he put a clip together, putting up like different clips from Gary Oldman, from different movies, and but having still the text from from Panda movie, and over his acting and just getting the right mannerisms and stuff. It's brilliant. All those close-ups are absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, how cool is that? The marketing for Kung Fu Panda is, frankly, crackhead. They were smoking crack. Look, I know a lot of this is standard issue when it comes to children's franchises and, you know, advertising or whatever, but Master Shifu holding a laptop is cursed, and you can't convince me otherwise. Do Do I have a point here? Oh, right, the trailers. Kung Fu Panda 2 has a few that I know of. Like many productions, some shots used in the trailer appeared nowhere in the finished movie.
We'll have to face the most diabolical villain the world has ever seen.
A peacock?
Oh, turn around.
Oh.
This can be due to changes in production, but sometimes shots are added specifically for marketing purposes.
I have received a message
From the universe?
from the messenger.
Oh, yeah, of course.
See, that was one. It's not in the movie. This scene was going to be in the movie, but it got cut out and changed. How do I know? Well, because we found part of the original scene.
A weapon without honor, discipline, or mercy. One stronger than any technique. Po, unless it is stopped, this could mean the end of Kung Fu.
But I just got Kung Fu.
And now you must use it to save all of China.
I mean, how can Kung Fu stop something that stops Kung Fu?
Oh yeah, deleted scenes. Oh, that's the good stuff. This wasn't officially released anywhere, so what actually happens here and why is it interesting? Well, the dialogue in this scene mostly made it into the final film, but instead of delivering this little news scroll in the grotto, Master Shifu does so at the top of the Jade Palace. Look, there's that scroll and everything. I think I prefer the film version a little bit more because we get to see the Furious Five. God knows everyone loves them. I know I do, especially Crane. Some of the lines are altered, and Shifu has some more to say about Lord Shen's weapon. Curiously, it seems like he already knows that it's a cannon based on the way he speaks about it, and they must have described it really well in that 3 or 4 lines of Chinese. Shifu's kind of right here, I guess. Blasting someone away with a high-velocity ball of iron has no merciful component to it. Ah, well, all's fair in cannons and kung fu or whatever the fuck the saying is. I don't know. The fireworks factory. The fires of industry.
The fires of industry.
Gotta make those fireworks somewhere. It just occurred to me that some casual watchers might not actually know what this place is. See, the reason we know it's a fireworks factory is because the piece that plays during the scene is titled Fireworks Factory. This is in the Kung Fu Panda 2 OST, and huge shout out to Hans Zimmer and John Powell here, because this might be my favorite piece of music in the entire franchise. Shen converted it into a cannon factory, of course, for evil purposes. Don't phase Po, though, does it? He's up and at him, ready to get some answers, even if it kills him. Cornered, Shen teases Po one last time.
Oh, you want to know so badly. You think knowing will heal you? Huh? Fill some crater in your soul. Well, here's your answer. Your parents didn't love you.
What a dick. But what if Shen had said something a little different here?
Worthless you'll have to be for your own flesh and blood, not to love you. Even a little.
Oh, I see. Based on this cut footage, Lord Shen was just projecting his own feelings onto Po. Effective coping strategy. Makes me wonder what his past was really like. I often wonder if he's simply unhinged and insane, or if there's a deeper core to him. What do you think? Try something out. Give me something to read. I crave knowledge. I crave speculation. I crave opinions. I crave blood. Looking at all the characters in this franchise, few have as much behind-the-scenes development and prep as Lord Shen. Dude's just built different, literally. It took a ton of planning and revisions to get him wrapped up. Pretty sure he was gonna be like the mayor of the Valley of Peace at one point or something. Anyway. Due to all this development, a number of his scenes were straight up cut, as in they were complete, finished scenes and they had to go back and redo them. Check this out.
He arrives in chains. So, all is well.
Yes, all is well.
What do you mean all is well?
I'm simply agreeing with you.
But did you mean all is well from my point of view, or all is well from your point of view?
Well,
Well?
well, from the point of view of the universe.
Come. Let us receive our guests.
Why was this cut? Soothsayer and Shen interactions are the best. This is priceless. Despite her obviously trying to rile him up, she knows he won't retaliate because she means too much to him. Like in early drafts of his character, Shen may consider her as a mother figure of sorts. It's only when he lets her go that Shen really completes his transition to his new future. Here's director Jennifer Yu Nelson on why the scene was cut.
It was actually a tough call because we actually animated a pass of that sequence before.
Yeah.
And it was a talking sequence where they were just talking, standing and talking.
Yeah.
And it did not feel like it was interesting. You know, it was beautifully animated, but just was not interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the scene is boring in the context of the movie. Not isolated like this, though. I could watch Shen and the Soothsayer nag each other all day. Interestingly, this scene appears in the Kung Fu Panda 2 novel by Tracy West, almost word for word.
But did you mean all is well from my point of view, or all is well from your point of view?
Well,
Well?
well, from the point of view of the universe.
This got me thinking. If the book mentions cut content that actually exists, it might be the key to finding other cut content. I stumbled across this other anomaly while pursuing through this little treasure trove of mystery. Here we sit in as Shen practices his introduction to Po in front of a mirror. He would do that. That's such a peacock thing to do. In the movie, he's all doing this like spinning around spear, like getting ready attack thing. It's a great scene in its own right, but I've always felt like it was missing something. Again, in the director's commentary, the crew has this to say.
And he was also, we showed his fear at one point by having him practicing in the mirror, seeing how he looked.
Yeah.
Right. And then decided to go with a little bit more action spent on it.
Not badass enough.
Where? This thing has been so coveted and sought after. Finally seeing it would be such an event. Oh my god.
At last we meet. Oh boy, come on. Greetings, Panda. We at last meet. Yes! That's it. Greetings, Panda. We at last meet. Perfect.
Lord Shen practicing in front of a mirror. Boom! Just like the book said. Man, I love this scene so much. The way Shen's emotions go from frustration to anger to joy and then back to embarrassment. Little puffy cheeks. And of course, he gets interrupted by the Soothsayer. Look at her judging him. God, I love these characters. So glad to finally get this scene out there. What's left to cover? What? Next time I gotta tell you that there's something even crazier than the mirror scene? Yes, I am. Late last year, a friend sent me a research paper by a few DreamWorks employees. Yes, apparently DreamWorks publishes papers under a research and development division, like some kind of crazy cracked up science lab. It's pretty common in the animation industry for studios to develop new methods of animation and rendering. They publish these findings after the movie is finished. This image was captioned Lord Shen at sunset, and he had his tail unfurled while apparently injured and clutching at his neck. This is strange for a couple of reasons. Firstly, Lord Shen battled Po at sunrise, not sunset, so what? And secondly, Lord Shen never falls down like that during the final battle. Trust me, I've gone over this particular scene 1,000 times. Real. This got me thinking as to what the origin of this image actually was. I came to the safe conclusion that it was probably just a test rig to show off his tail feathers for the paper, and I sort of just left it at that. Then, I saw this.
Battle's over. You don't have to keep acting all evil.
Aw, hell nah. Another deleted scene? This one goes crazy. It's an alternate version of the fight between Shen and Po. Look at man's hit the deck. Po must have stopped walking around and just yeeted Shen. Also, Poe's pleading for Shen to stop fighting.
Battle's over. You don't have to keep acting all evil.
Does Shen even listen? No, of course not. He throws up his tail, probably trying to daze Poe like before. Obviously, that wouldn't work. Poe is at peace with the past now. Didn't you watch the movie? No, Shen wouldn't understand that. That's his whole arc. I still wonder what would happen to this hurt little Bert after this version of the scene ends. Maybe Poe has more success with his forgiveness. Maybe Poe tried harder to save Shen. It really could be anything. That's why these looks into lost footage are so valuable. They let us see what could have been and compare it to what is. It's a fascinating and enlightening look into Kung Fu Panda 2 and these characters as a whole. Thanks for checking out this video. I had a lot of fun making it. If you're at all curious with this stuff, I suggest checking out the source document that I've linked in the description. Socials are below if you feel like messaging me. And I want to give special thanks to Ying and to the other fans who helped make this video possible. And of course, the many thousands of talented artists working in the animation industry and the ones working on this movie specifically. You really changed my life. And on that note, video end.